conversation today that I think you guys are going to love. I'm just putting it out there, man. Here's how this works. Every morning I wake up at 3:20 a.m. and weekdays anyway, because I want to make sure to word my words right here. Not because I have to, but because I get to join you guys right here for the show. So I wake up at 3:20 a.m. and I go through a process, and then I write the show. And I don't know exactly what's going to come out each day. I write the show, I pack it up, and I drive to the studio, and I deliver the show. That's just how we've done it. It's how we've done it 1,103 times over the last going on 5 years, which is crazy, right? But every once in a while, I get done, I write a show, and then I sit back and I go, wow, that's pretty profound. And today was one of those days. We're going to talk about New York City. We're going to talk about my daughter, Willow. My guy, Core Element, is going to make an appearance. And really, in the end, we're going to talk about you. Welcome to GM3X. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the founder of the 800% Elite Club. I hope you're ready for motivation, education, inspiration, celebrity interviews, and thought-provoking conversations, because it's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning. How are you, my friend? Dude, today is, what is today? Today is Tuesday. That's right. Today is Tuesday, normally Taco Tuesday, but I'm going to go to Miami today. So today is Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it's ever going to be Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most. And I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Hey, I want to start today right out the gate with a quote, if that is fair. All right. Basically, I want to start your day the same way I was able to start my day, because I'm inspired this morning. I feel amazing this morning, and I'm super grateful to be able to share that energy with you. So I want you to start your day the same way I was able to start my day today. All right. And so for those of you on Clubhouse, the link is up there at the top now. Go ahead and click that if you want to join us on the live stream for the visual aspect of our show. Go ahead and click that link there at the top. And I'm going to dive in with this quote here in just a second. Now, I am coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. That is where I am as of right now. I am going to fly out a little bit later today. I'm going to go to Miami. And if you are a prayerful person, which I'm sure there's a couple of you here in the room. Hey, Catherine, I just signed and sent your planners yesterday, so you should be getting those soon. Thank you for ordering 7 planners. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to go to Miami a little bit later, and if you are a prayerful person, I would love positive energy from you and prayers, as we are going to be, I'm going to fly to Miami today, and I will be competing over the next 2 days in a contest called the Great American Speak Off. And this is a contest that is very similar to American Idol or America's Got Talent, right? It's very similar to that show, and I have been selected as one of 150 people to compete as the world's greatest speaker. And so I would just love your prayers and energy, not necessarily that I win the contest, but ultimately that God continues to give me the words that can make an impact in other people's lives, whoever that might be. Might be somebody in the audience tomorrow. It might be a judge on the panel, or ultimately it might be from a stage in Las Vegas in front of 30,000 people. I don't know God's plan, but just help me, if you would, please, to stay in that frequency and not interfere with God's plan that he has for me. I would greatly appreciate that. With that said, I want to start today off with a quote. So I have a planner. It's called the Morning 5 Planner. You can order one. If you haven't ordered your 2023 planner, I would suggest that you do so and do it now, or you might not get it. Well, you'd still get it by the end of the year. But I would just suggest go ahead and take action on it while you're thinking about it. You can go to themorning5planner.com. That's themorning5planner.com and get you one of these. I use this every single day. I hug it. I love it. I love it. This thing has completely changed my life. And at the top of every page of the planner, there's a quote. And the quote is submitted by actual members of this community. That's what I love about it. We don't highlight the person that said the quote. Maybe we should. Some people are like, dude, you're not giving credit to the quote person. Why aren't you giving credit to the quote person? And I'm like, well, because the quote person didn't give the quote to me. And so I give credit to the contributor that brought the quote into my life, into my world, right? So I'm like, thank you, contributor, for bringing me your favorite quote. That's what we do in the planner, all right? Like it or not, it's my planner. That's how I choose to do it. So at the top of each page is a quote. And today's quote was submitted by a guy named Core Element. Now, Core Element, I met in the Breakfast with Champions room a couple years ago now. And this guy's incredibly talented in so many ways. And him and I got to know each other better. He's been an angel in my life in more ways than he even knows. And so when I opened up my planner this morning, it says this at the top. This is the quote. This is awesome, right? You ready? It says, too long we have sailed these seas of hate, misogyny, and materialism away from the beautiful beaches and lavish lands of love, passion, and creativity. What a beautiful and yet terrifying picture it paints. And I think we all know it to be true. That for too long we have sailed these seas of hate, misogyny, and materialism away from the beautiful beaches and lavish lands of love, passion, and creativity. I think that's an absolute picture of the world today. And yet, even though I think we all can agree and we all know that for too long we've headed down this path and further away from the beauty of love, passion, and creativity, and yet we keep sailing. Last weekend, I was in New York City with my daughter, Willow. She is 8 years old, and she is absolutely fabulous. And we were there. We stayed in Times Square, and there are many interesting energies that exist in Times Square. If you've never been there before, or even if you have, you would understand. There are many different energies, right? From the messages that are shared on the billboards all over the place. Messages of marketing, messages of rated R nature, messages rated X nature, right? Platinum Dolls Gentlemen's Club right next to the Hershey store. There are many interesting energies that combine with the big billboards and the money and the wealth, and also the homeless people that were freezing in the streets. From the conversations that we overheard between people that were arguing to the joy and the laughter that we heard shared by so many. Like New York City and Times Square, it's truly a melting pot. A melting pot of humanity and a place where we can truly learn a lot. And I learned a tremendous lesson this past weekend that I'm excited to share with each of you. Before I do, though, You know what we got to do on this show. Come on now. Y'all know. Let's go. It's time to do some dancing, folks. Let's go. Listen, no matter where you are in the world, I need you to get that body in motion. You see, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. And right now is the time for you to get in motion. All right, if you're laying in the bed, I need you to get up. Come on, we're calling for you. The day is waiting for you. If you're in bed, I need you to get up. If you're out there on a run, I want you to pick up the pace. All right, it's about 2 minutes. You're going to pick up the pace. If you're doing your 3 mile pace, I want you to go to your 2 mile pace. If you're doing your 2 mile pace, I want you to go to your 1 mile pace. Just pick up the pace just a little bit and maybe do a little dancing while you're on the run. Just don't trip, don't fall, don't do any of those things. All right. If you're lifting some weights, let's get a couple extra pounds. There you go, Kim B. She says, okay, I'm up. All right, Kim, good. That's what we need, right? That's what we need. This is also the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. I'm seeing some really weird fluctuations in the numbers over on Facebook. I don't know if people are getting kicked out or what. Probably because today is such an incredible message. We find that happens. The stronger the message, the more interference that we'll get sometimes. So do me a favor. Make sure you hit that share button. Tag your friends. If you know there's people in that are normally on the show, you don't see them today, go ahead and tag them. They might be having a hard time finding it. And then this is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. Gene Stafford, good morning from New York City. Good morning, Gene. I'm so glad you're here. Tarika Simmons is in the building. Shelly Jean is here, coming in from Florida. Natasha Smith is in the building. Rick Tamburino, what's up, brother? Sean Peño, great to see you, sir. Wes Storm, Bella Rigby is in the building. Mr. Nathaniel Banks himself. Talk about a transformation over the last couple years. Angela Heath and Leisha Watts. Good morning. Barbara Willard, I'm glad you're here. Unlimited Finances just tagged Yesenia MacArthur and Yesenia Velez. I appreciate that. Thanks for tagging those folks. Jacqueline Underwood in the building. Russell Tabone, my guy. I know Russell has news. I don't know if he shared it with the world, but he shared it with me, and it's amazing. Consuelo Hodges, I'm glad you're here. Stan Scher, thanks for being here, man. I feel like I saw you. Were you at Hamilton? I know you were at Broadway. I know you were at a play that night. I didn't know if you were at Hamilton. I feel like I saw you. I'm not sure, though. Tanji Brewer, Fee Speak, Sol Salcido is in the building. Vicky Everett's up in here as well. I want to say good morning to Dora Maria. If it wasn't for her, Breakfast with Champions wouldn't be happening the way that it happens. Thank you, Dora Maria. Jeff Moffitt as well. Thanks for always carrying and being my guy. Marilyn Wilkin is in the building. Gail Dopp, thanks for being here. Christina Howard, I see you and Snoop doing that dance. The Queen, Renee Knorr, is in the building. Dr. Tanji, we got a day in the building. Scott Simons, what's up, Mr. Scott Simons? Great to see you. Tony G, that's a great picture. I love that, Tony. Liza Myers Borges, my guy Ramon Ray. Good morning, Ramon. How you doing, Limitless? Kimberly, Coco, Mr. Sankey, Peter, Carmel, Andy, and Shantice. Thank you all so much for being here with me. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. It's cold up there, Soul. It's cold up there in New York. I'm so sorry. My wife this morning, my wife was like, honey, it's freezing. I said, freezing? What are you talking about? It's going to be a high of 79 today. She goes, it is not. I said, it sure will be over in Miami. Hey, my guy Brandon wanted to pop in real quick and share something with you. Today is TikTok Tuesday, so he likes to pop in. So I'm going to let him jump in here, and then we'll continue this amazing conversation.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of GM3X. How's it going? It's Tuesday, which means another edition of TikTok Tuesday coming at you. Well, around the office, it's getting a little cluttered, getting a little packed because, we're 800%ing our own business right now. With all the hustle and bustle going on right now at the office, it feels like time is just flying by. And here's an example of it. Do ba 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 do boo do a boo ba do ba do boo ba do a do ba do ba do a do ba do ba do do. Well, I gotta correct myself. It said 6 months in the auto industry, but it applies the same way because, I mean, I looked like this when Glenn hired me a couple years ago. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. If you want to go support the guys, go follow them on TikTok at 800% Club. Percent Club is actually typed out. But, guys, have an amazing rest of your week and an awesome weekend, and I'll see y'all next Tuesday. Peace!
I hope you guys are ready. You ready?
It's an amazing group to learn from. I would suggest it to anybody, who really is looking to grow their business and learn from others.
It's a club of people coming together, working harder to build each other up, to reach levels we would never be able to reach on our own.
It's been just really rewarding. I've been trying to soak up as much of the wisdom I can. I just learned a lot. I can't wait to share with my team.
It was great becoming a part of something where pushes me to go above and beyond. And that's what this club's all about.
The information, the support, the teamwork, the encouragement you get from 800% Club is like nothing I've ever seen.
These ladies and gentlemen that have joined the 800 Club did it for a reason. They want to 800% their business. Like, let's go. What are you waiting for? 800%. That's a big increase. Most of you be looking for 10%, 5%, break even. 800%. Glenn Lundy guarantees it, and I endorse this message.
I love the 800% Club.
A melting pot. New York City is a melting pot. All languages, all backgrounds, all belief systems. It's a place where black people and white people and brown people and every shade in between exist together. And it was wild. As I was there this past weekend, I watched as my daughter Willow navigated the streets, weaving in and out of traffic, all the while taking it all in. Now, I can only imagine what this experience was like from the mind of a child, to see the lights, the buildings, the hustle bustle, as they say, right? All of the different languages, all of the different sounds, especially Willow, who is a very sensory child. She is all about textures and feelings and sounds, and she's very artistic. And so I could only imagine what, through her eyes, what that was like, right? I can't say that I understand how she felt, but I know that it was fascinating to watch how she experienced it. Hi, Kayla. I'm glad you're here. And it was interesting because it was a compelling combination that Willow had. A compelling combination of both a healthy fear. She had a healthy fear of cars and traffic and people, right? Getting lost in the crowd. So there was a healthy fear, and at the same time, there was this joyful excitement. There was a new experience for her around every corner, right? So just if you think about it just a second, right? You're 8 years old, you've gone a couple places, but never really been in a big city like that, right? We live out in the country. We've got 10 acres, right? We've got 10 acres out, kind of away from everything. She rides her quad everywhere. Like, we've got a pond in our backyard. So now all of a sudden here we are in the city, right? So it's a new experience for her around every corner. And so from there, we went to Hamilton, which is super loud, by the way. It's not supposed to be loud like that. There we go. We went to the Broadway musical, Hamilton. And when we arrived at Hamilton, we were ushered through the lines and ultimately to our seats. And this was the whole point of us being in New York City, right? My daughter Willow loves Hamilton. She watches it on Disney Plus. She listens to the soundtrack. She knows every single song. She knows the words to every single song. So this was the whole reason we were there. Her Christmas present was to surprise her by taking her to New York City, which she's always wanted to go, and take her to see Alexander Hamilton live, right? And so it was super clear to me and her mother that this was going to be an incredibly special experience for her. We were sure about that. And so we went in and we grabbed our seats 7 rows back, left center stage. And as soon as we sat down, Willow struck up a conversation with the woman in front of us. "I like your dress," Willow said. Now, this wasn't unusual for my daughter Willow. It wasn't unusual for her to just all of a sudden speak to a stranger and say, "I like your dress." Like, she does this all of the time, whether we're in an elevator or at a grocery store, whether we're at events. Willow always, and I mean always, leads with a sincere compliment. It's always sincere. "I like your hair, I like your boots, I like your skirt, I like your whatever," right? She always leads with a sincere compliment, like straight from the heart. I watched her as other people passed by that she didn't say a word to because she didn't have nothing nice to say. But as the time progressed, as we were waiting for the show, Willow continued to make friends with everyone around her. If you were within range, Willow would find something that she liked about you, and she would tell you. And she was one of the youngest people in the theater, right? And so here's this little girl dressed to the nines, right? Dressed to the nines. And she's sparking conversations with all of the people by leading with a compliment and watching these people just melt. I mean, they just melted. She controlled the room. It was like she was the star of the show. I don't know when the last time any of these people had heard a compliment. It was like it was this new profound way of communicating. People were blown away. And so the show settled in and it started. And at intermission, my daughter Willow looked at me and she said, "Hey, Daddy, I'm ready to go back to the hotel." Now, keep in mind, this is halfway through the show. This is the whole reason we went to New York City. Spent a lot of money on these tickets for the show, and my daughter looks at me and she says, "Daddy, I'm ready to go back to the hotel." She told me that she was a bit tired and somewhat overwhelmed. She told me that the travel, the lights, the sounds, the people, she said that she had had enough. And so we left. And Willow hugged the women that were around her that she had had conversations with. She hugged them and they hugged her back so tight. These perfect strangers. And for the second half of the show went on with 2 empty seats in a completely sold out theater, 7 rows up, just left of center. Self-aware, kind and complimentary, cautiously optimistic, authentic and honest, and not afraid to ask for what she wants. My hope is that Willow will never, ever, ever get caught up in the path where she finds herself sailing the seas of hate, misogyny, and materialism away from the beautiful beaches and lavish lands of love, passion, and creativity. Her love for people and her passion for life, blended with the creativity that she has to express herself, inspires me to live the same way. And my hope is this morning, it inspires you to live the same way too.
It's so easy to place people in boxes, drawing lines, creating sides. There's us, and there's them. Those we feel comfortable around, and those we don't. There are those of us with many chapters, and those just starting their own stories. There's the well-to-do, and those doing what they can. There are those we share something with, and those we don't seem to share anything with.
Welcome, and thank you for coming today, guys. Today I'm going to be conducting an experiment where I'll ask you a series of questions. Now, these questions will be very personal questions, and for us to get a true result, I need you to be completely honest with how you respond. The first question I have is, who in here was the class clown? Who is never on time?
And then there's us. We who have tattoos. We who feel lonely. We who have been bullied. We who have bullied others. We who are madly in love. We who have overcome great adversity. And there's the lucky ones, whose team won the championship this year. We who beat cancer. And then there's all of us who are created in the image of God. And as one body, we stand together, united as one under His grace.
Welcome to Let Us Not Sail These Seas of Hate, Misogyny, and Materialism away from the beautiful beaches and lavish lands of love, passion, and creativity any longer. Self-aware, kind and complimentary, cautiously optimistic, authentic and honest. Let's let Willow be an example of how we can make the world a better place. Does that sound fair? Yeah. Let's do that.
So far away, I saw you not so long ago. Was it just yesterday? Got that old feeling that I know. In the dark of the night, I'll be alright. The sun will arise. Of messages overtaking what I know. A war is a whisperer, and it's coming for my soul. In the dark of the night, I can see the light. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. Set me free. I was searching for someone to fight for me. I'll remember it's your light that shines on me. I won't be afraid, I will look to the light. I will not be shaken, I know it will be alright. 'Cause you're with me, I know that the sun will rise.